The best part is having someone there saying, hey, you did enough. That's fine. Go home now. Hey Best Pally, I'm Allie, and I'm here to tell you about what happened after I gave up Googling and guessing to get game. If you're not new to my channel, you may have recognized that my fitness journey has just been years of experimenting. Basically, Googling, finding something that looked cool, trying it out, seeing how it felt. So you might be surprised to hear that my workout today is the end of 6 weeks with a personal trainer telling me exactly what to do for me personally the entire time. So the reason I put on a camera and wanted to talk to you was to figure out for you if you could skip all of those years of experimenting and just jump to the personal training, or if you're thinking about getting a personal trainer, do you really need it? First, let's talk about the reason that I started with a personal trainer. It is because I work out harder, not smarter. And that is just an overall explanation of a series of problems that I have that you may also experience. I spend entirely too long in the gym. I feel like I could be way more efficient, but I just stay there and keep pushing. I also feel like I kind of plateaued. I was lifting the same amount of weight every week, and it still felt like just as heavy. And not just the same amount of weight, the same movement. So I was doing the same thing over and over again. I'm really good at making habits, but like zero variation. And also my knee hurt. I know that sounds very specific, but for you, if you have like nagging pain problems, this might speak to you. So I found over the past 6 weeks, I've started to unravel a lot of those problems because the personal training helped me dial some things in. So I'm gonna walk you through those weeks to see if you have the same kind of problems and you need the same kind of dialing in. So starting with week 1, my trainer gave me 4 or 5 movements a day. Ugh. And that was shocking to me because, like I said, I was spending too much time in the gym. So for example, a workout that I would have done would be 9 sets of pull-ups, then move on 9 sets of chin-ups, and then rope climbs, snatches, lat pull-downs, some rows, and then more rows, but like different rows. So if you were like me and you don't know when you've done enough, you might benefit from paying someone to tell you. And if you're not like me, and you are more intuitive, can feel your body, can sense when you've accomplished something and stop, then maybe you don't need a personal trainer. So how did I feel after that first week doing less movements? Awful, meaning I overshot it, I did way too much weight, and my coach had to pull me back. This, by the way, is that weight that I did 6 weeks ago on my first week. Let's see how it feels. Oh yeah. Which leads me to week 2. My coach said, no, what are you doing? I said, do less, which is exactly what I needed to hear. And if you are like me and choose weights that are too high and need someone to help you really be efficient and dial it in, perhaps you should get a personal trainer. But if you're okay with going based on feel and just trying to be better this week than last week, but if you're not, that's okay too, then maybe you don't need someone telling you exactly how much to lift. And now I gotta film this set for my trainer. Ooh, how meta. And I'll get to explaining that. But first, step over to my charging station. Now I recovered from week 1 and 2 due to some serious help from this guy. You may have seen me wearing this in all of my videos. It's an Aura Smart Ring. Check this out. It's got sensors on the inside, and this whole video I'm talking about dialing things in and finally getting personalized workouts. Well, for 8 months I've been wearing this and dialing things in, finally getting personalized sleep data. Okay, time for my sleep rant. I've had a bunch of very smart people on my Total Fit Heads podcast, and everyone seems to be talking about sleep like it is the #1 thing that is most effective at helping your overall health. Physical performance, immunity, productivity. Like, say you wanna lose weight. Okay, you could work out. But like even more effective would be working on your nutrition. But working on your sleep is like up here in effectiveness. You could pay a crap ton of money for the best personalized personal training in the world, and if you're not sleeping correctly, it's like a complete waste. And I've been working on, and you can get better at sleeping. So the Aura Ring tracks your heart rate variability, temperature, your sleep throughout the night, and your activity throughout the day. And it shows you on this readiness score, sleep score, and then activity score. And I actually love the calorie tracking in this. You know, you've probably seen me wearing a lot of different trackers, and this is the most accurate on calories that I've found. No joke, all the other ones are very underestimating my caloric intake, and I know this because I'm eating a whole lot more and not gaining any fat. So if I did eat what they were telling me, my metabolism would just slow down and it would be bad. Eating too little is bad, sleeping too little is bad, not enough data is bad. So if you do want to get an Oura Ring and try it out for yourself, I have partnered with them on this video, which is awesome, and I will put a link in the description so you can get your own. And now we've arrived at week 3, and that is when I started really feeling on top of it. It was less weights and less movement, and that's when I realized, hey, my knee doesn't hurt as bad. Because a part of this personal training is getting personalized form feedback when I film my lifts for her. And there were some glaring problems that I didn't even know about. Actually, no, I did know about them. I just didn't know what they were. I knew I sucked. But how did I suck specifically? Now I know. And it truly was helpful having somebody see my lifts and point out the little tweaks that made big differences. And I never would have picked up on it watching a video of myself or watching form videos on YouTube. But that has gone a long way in helping my knee. So yeah, if you are starting to lift heavier and getting aches and pains, then that is the time to get someone to help you to do it right. But if you are just starting out, not going too heavy, or don't ever plan to get so heavy, then you could be okay, just figure it out yourself. That may seem a little controversial. For sure, pay attention to your form and be careful. But even in my CrossFit L1 training, they said the 60-year-old that deadlifts with kind of a rounded back is way better off and going to live way longer than the 60-year-old that's sitting on the couch because he's scared about perfect form. Which leads me to week 4, which got hard again. And that mostly I attribute to the fact that I biked 35 miles on my rest day. I would air quotes on rest day, but I'm kind of busy. Now, I never realized how flexible my training was until I had someone telling me exactly what to do. Because on a day where I had to bike 35 miles, I would just move my training to the next day. Can't do that when someone's structuring it for you. So if you really want to be dialed in and be told exactly what to do when, then a trainer might be for you. But if you want more of that flexibility, hey, handle it yourself. Which leads me to week 5, where my trainer changed what the movements were. What? That's crazy. Now this is coming from someone who, I looked back, this is embarrassing. Made some programming for myself based on finding stuff online, what I was interested in, and had a week of what my workouts were each day, and I did that week 38 weeks in a row. So that is an extreme example, but if you have trouble changing things up, doing something different, you might benefit from getting some outside help. That also is probably a huge part of why I felt like I was plateauing and not moving up at all. I needed variety. Now, this can be solved by not personal training, but a training program that isn't specifically for you necessarily. And I'll talk about that option more in a little bit. And now, on my 6th week, I mentioned that it wasn't very flexible, but that's not exactly right, because on week 6, I just emailed my trainer being like, hey, I want to do the CrossFit Open. Let's show some of that horrendous footage. Oh, take it back, I'm not gonna die, I'm just gonna throw up. Oh, keep going. And my trainer was like, cool, I'll just program around it. And that is the definition of personal training. It was very personalized to my goals, which was awesome. And she programmed, I would do one CrossFit workout and then a rest day and then another CrossFit workout and then a rest day. And I was like, hey, you know, I could work out, I could stay on my lifting during those rest days. And she was like, no, what? Rest, actual rest. So that was 2 lessons learned that week. If you have very specific goals, personal training is good for that. And if you have trouble really dialing in your recovery and being efficient about when and how you're resting, again, get some outside help. And here I am, done with my last workout on my 6th week. And this is a huge part of personal training. I now am submitting all of my numbers, my performance throughout the past week, my videos that I recorded for my trainer. Accountability. I have somebody watching me, seeing if I actually did the thing. And this is not something that I've struggled with, but I know it is huge for people, is having someone else there helping keep you accountable. And personal training is very helpful in that regard. It doesn't have to be a personal trainer, it could be just your workout buddy that you both check in. It could be you just DMing me. Yeah, that every time that you work out, just send me a message and know that I'm watching and holding you accountable. And I say I haven't had trouble with accountability, but it does really feel different. Like when I'm filming a video for my trainer, it feels like she's there watching me, and I really do work harder on my form specifically because I know I'm being scrutinized and I want to nail it. I know I mentioned following a training program that isn't personalized, and you may have seen in a past video that I did this with hybrid performance training. I followed their powerlifting program, and it did help me a lot with a lot of those problems that I mentioned. It fixed my same movements issue because good programming will be changing up what you're doing in the right ways. It fixed my time in the gym problem because, again, good programming will tell you what to do and then you can leave. And my recovery issue because it had built-in deload weeks and days off. And what a non-personalized training program won't fix is your knee pain. It's not gonna fix your form. You may still have bad mechanics and start hurting things when you get really heavy. It also won't stop you from getting too heavy. I kept adding weights on with that programming. It won't be flexible towards your specific goals because it's not personally for you. So if I tell my trainer, hey, I wanna do a muscle up, she'll work in things to get me there, and that's not gonna happen when it's just some programming that's written for a lot of people. And you will lack the accountability, which I think is important for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of programs do come with an app where you input your numbers, but how much is like accountability coming from putting a number into a device versus having a person there watching you? So hopefully that's helpful for you to decide whether you're the person that should just keep trying new stuff and experimenting and stick with something for a while, or pick a programming that isn't specifically for you, or go full-on personal trainer because you had all those features that needed it. I know now that I am at the point where I do, and I'm pleased with my investment, and so are my knees. And in fact, the best part is having someone there saying, hey, you did enough. That's fine. Go home now. Well, I'm in my home gym, but the point is that even in my YouTube career, I've never made enough videos. I can always do more. Should I go to sleep? Or should I make more stuff for the internet? Or should I sleep another hour to get better at sleeping? It's never enough. But now I'm paying someone to tell me that it's enough. Oh, that's a little sad. No, for real, it's been great, and I don't know if it's something I'll stick with indefinitely, but I will definitely keep you updated if you want to know. And if you didn't notice, I think you noticed, my gym is a little different right now. Go check my main channel because this transformation is a video on there.
Oh my god, we have the coolest gym.
Hey, Best Pally. I'm Allie, and on my fitness channel, I built a home gym, but now I'm just realizing that it's normal, but I don't make things that are normal, so I brought it over here to my outrageous channel